All right, burning the time. So we look at how to balance these chemical equations. Now, in an exam hall, what do? We should be able to identify that. We have the left side and the right side. So we have one carbon over here. This is a propane reacting with oxygen to give us carbon dioxide and water. So therefore, we have 3 of carbons here, 8 of hydrogens, 2 of oxygen. At the right side, we have 1 of carbon, 2 of hydrogens. Then we have 3 of what? Oxygen. So this is 2 and this is 1. That makes it 3. So realize that over here we have an odd number of 3 here. Then we have this to be 1. So what do? Let's put 3 over here. So we are going to put 3 over here. So when we put 3 over here, then that means that we have 3 carbons, then 3 carbons too as well. Then realize that here we have only 1 hydrogen. We have only 2 hydrogens, but over here we have 8, and the hydrogens are rather supposed to be 8 also over here. So we put 4 over here. So when we put 4 over here, 4 multiplying these two will give us 8 of the what? Hydrogen. So then that means that the carbons here, we have the carbon to be 3, the hydrogen to be 8. Then over here we have the carbon to be 3, we have the hydrogen to be 8. So what is now left is the oxygen. So we have 2 of the oxygens here. Then over here, now we are going to end up having 7 oxygens over here. So it is not balanced. So what do? So here we have, so 3 multiplying the 2, we have 6. So that means we have 6 oxygen here. Then 4 multiplying 1 will give us what? 4. So 4 plus 6, that will give us what? 10. So we have oxygen to be what? 10 over here. So how then do we make the oxygens on the left hand side to also become 10? So we just add 5 over here. So that means that the oxygen here is also what? 10. Now let's look at how we can react aluminium plus hydrochloric and aluminum chloride and hydrogen gas. How do we go about this? Now you realize that we have 1 aluminium on the left side, we have 1 aluminium on the right hand side, we have 1 hydrogen on the left hand side, we have 2 hydrogens on the right hand side, then we have 1 chlorine on the left hand side, then we have 3 chlorine on the right hand side. So that means the chlorine over here is what? Is 3. So therefore we put 3 over here. When we put 3 over here, would that solve the problem? When we put 3 over there, would that solve the problem? So I think we should rather make this side to be 2, then this side will be 3, so that we'll end up having 2 of the hydrogens and 2 of the hydrogens, then the 3 rather will be here. So that means that in this situation we have the hydrogen to be what? To be 2. Now, but the chlorine over here is 6, but when you look at the right hand side, it's rather 3. So therefore let's put 2 over here. So when we put 2 over here, we end up having the chlorine to be 6 on the left hand side and 6 on the right hand side. So the chlorine here is going to be 6. So we have aluminium to be 2 here, we have the chlorine to be 6 over here, then we have the hydrogen to be what? 2 as well. So now it's left with the aluminium, because aluminium is 2 over here and it's 1 over here. So therefore we just add 2 over here. So our aluminium is also what? 2. So that means what is on the left hand side is equal to what is also on the right hand side. So it's left with the last one. So we have ammonia reacting with oxygen to give us water and nitrogen oxide. So ammonia reacting with oxygen to give us water and nitrogen oxide. Now how then do we react this? How then do we balance this? So realize that over here nitrogen is 1, on the right side is also 1. Over here hydrogen is 3. Over here hydrogen is what? 2. Then we have oxygen to be 2 here. We have on the left hand side to oxygen is also what? 2. But realize that the hydrogen on the left side is 3, and the one on the right hand side is in even form, that is 2. So what do we do? What do we do in this form? So to balance it, then let's put 4 over here. So when we put 4 over here, that means that we will end up having the nitrogen to be what? To be 4. Then we end up having the hydrogen to be 12. So therefore that means we have to make the hydrogens on the right hand side to also be what? 12. So let's put 6 here. So we end up having our hydrogen to be 12 over here. Now our nitrogen is 4, is that not so? Then that means we have to find a way to make this 4. So let's put 4 over here. So when we put 4 over here, then that means we have nitrogen also to be 4. So on the left hand side is equal, nitrogen is equal to the right hand side, and on the hydrogen is equal to hydrogen on the left hand side is equal to hydrogen on the right hand side. Then now it's left with the oxygen. So that means that oxygen, we have 6 here plus 4 here, that will give us what? 10. So our oxygen is what? 10. Is that not so? So if our oxygen is 10, we need to find a way to make the oxygen on the left hand side to also be what? 10. So we can make it 5. We can make it 5. So we have oxygen to be what? 10 as well. I hope you are following what we are doing here. I would like you to try your hand on this. C4H10 plus oxygen reacting to give us CO plus H2O. Please balance this and leave your answers or your answer in the comment section. I would love to see it. Thank you.